Oh yeah! By the way, guys, before I forget, because this is wrapping up my story of last night. Okay, so after I committed in front of my son, not cool. And I got like revived, or whatever, like pumped full of crap, and I'm like, ah, I'm alive. And they took me to the ER, and I don't remember any of this crap. I don't know. I remember waking up the next morning and being like, oh my god, it was like the worst hangover I've ever had in my entire existence. And it felt like my brain, I felt like my skull had been cracked open, like my brains had been stirred up, and then, my head glued back together, and it felt like I had been placed in a microwave and cooked, and my insides felt cooked. They felt nuked. It was like the worst hangover. That's like the best way to describe it. It was the worst hangover ever, because I like died, right? I freaking committed. I overdosed, drank too much, whatever. But I got pumped full of God knows what. Holy cow. Worst shit ever. But anyways, so the next day I'm like, wake up and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I was like getting assessed by a counselor, whom ended up being my counselor later on. And he's like assessing me like to see if I was committing or not. And I lied my ass off. I was like, oh no, I just was drunk and I took too long. And he was like, okay. He like knew that I was totally lying, but I was just like, I did not feel good. I didn't want to talk. And he was totally cool. Like, he was like totally cool about it. He's like, I could tell that you don't feel good, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so he ended up being my counselor later on. But so he leaves and I'm just like pissed. I'm like, I'm not even supposed to be here. This is bullshit. What the fuck? And then I was like, can I go have a cigarette? And, oh gosh. Sometimes I'll have my headphones on and I forget that I have my headphones on, and then I'll record, and then it makes my videos really quiet, so it's making sure that I didn't do that again. But anyways, I'm like, can I please go have a cigarette? And they're like, no, but you can have a nicotine patch. You know how they are at the hospital. I'm like, I don't want a fucking nicotine patch. I want a fucking cigarette because I woke up, you fucking bitch. And I was like, I will go off of the property, but can I take my IV thing out there? And they're like, no, because you're on suicide watch and you are not going anywhere. No, you can have a cigarette. And I was like, you a-holes. And so I'm like, F this crap. And I was like already mad. I'm like, I feel like crap and I need a cigarette. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna freaking leave. AMA. My grandma used to do it all the time, okay? And so here I am, like, with a splitting headache. It's not okay at all. In this freaking room where they're supposed to be like observing me, like watching me 24/7, and they're not. And thank goodness. And I pull my freaking IV out, right? And I've never pulled an IV out or anything. Didn't even think about it. Untape it, pull it out, and then it's like, and squirts blood. And squirts blood again, all across the bed, all across the floor, and I like squirted out every freaking heartbeat. It was like, and I was like, ah! So I get up and I like, run to the bathroom and I grab a wad of toilet paper and I put it on my arm. There's like a squirt of blood trail fucking everywhere in that room. It was horrible. And so I go back and sit on my bed and I'm like, oh, that was fucking, what the and next thing I know, it's like knock 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 on the window, and I look and there's my mom and my older sister and my son, and I'm like, oh shit, there's blood all over my freaking gown, all over the bed, like squirted across the floor, like oh my god. And the blood is like the toilet paper wad that I have is just full of blood. My fingers, like my whole hand is just bloody. I'm just like, oh fuck. So they show up and they come in and they're like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I need a cigarette. And my mom's like, oh my god, you're so much like your fucking grandma. And I was acting just like my grandma. At that moment, I was like, oh, it was horrible. Oh. So anyways, I leave AMA. My mom takes me out of there, shaking her head. I'm like, I don't care. I get in the blazer and light a cigarette, and it's the nastiest cigarette I've ever smoked in my whole life. It tasted horrible. It was a horrible. It was horrible. It was so bad, and I felt like crap so bad. I probably should have stayed on the IV because I felt like shit for like a week. But and then I get to my mom's, whatever, and cause she takes me to her house, to her and Matthew's grandpa's house, and she like, before I go to bed, I'm trying to get a hold of Matthew's dad and be like, hey, this is what happened, blah blah blah. And I'm like, I died last night and all of this crap, and I was like, can you please come home? And he's like, no, like, he didn't give a shit if I lived, if I died. He did not give a flying fuck what happened to me. Wouldn't even give me the time of day to like talk to me, to even ask if I was okay after I tried committing because of him or anything. In his head, I was just a psycho bitch. And I mean, I kind of was. I loved him, and I thought he loved me. I mean, he would say, I love you sometimes, and we were in a relationship. I thought, I don't know. But anyways, yeah, so after I like tried committing and everything, he wouldn't come home. He wouldn't even give me, like, he was like, I gotta go. And wouldn't even talk to me. That shit killed me even more. So then I went to bed crying. I was like, bah! Went to sleep crying. And then after I woke up that night, or like the next day, guess what I did? I started drinking. Yep. That shit fucking motherfucker killed me, man. Alright, anyways. So that was the next day after committing in front of my baby. Alright. Peace out, guys. Have a good day.